Yeah, you can come over here. That's the singer repairman. If you don't know him, that's him. Let me get some lights on. Oh, that was fun. I'm probably going to need a cardiac team to come in pretty quick, though. That was quite a workout. Oh my gosh. Well, if you somehow missed it, if you somehow missed not my dancing, because that's a thing unto itself. But if you somehow missed it, this channel just hit 12,000 subscribers. Now, in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's not a bazillion subscribers, right? Because some of the YouTube channels, they've got millions of subscribers. But when you get into the vintage sewing machine space, that niche area, when you get over 10,000 subscribers, it's a big deal. And now, because of all of you and your help, we're at 12,000. I think we're actually at 12,012 or something like that. 2012, or I have no idea. But a number of you just rallied around my call for help. I basically said, you know, we're so close, but we're not quite there yet. And the Oyamas from Texas and a number of others just went after it 100%, 110%, and they made it happen. So thank you to everybody. I didn't expect this. I was talking with Emma, and Emma said, you're going to hit it this weekend. And this was like on Thursday or Friday of this past week. And I said, you know, perhaps, maybe, but you know what? Subscribers are, as I look at the analytics, it's just amazing the number of people we have come to the channel and they never click subscribe. So you never know how many new subscribers you're going to get. It's just guesswork. But Emma, with her women's intuition or who knows what, was pretty close. We actually hit it a little bit before the weekend, which was really neat. So, but this little live stream is to introduce to you the next contest giveaway as a result of us hitting 12,000 subscribers. And I'm going to try to describe it to you. It's one of those things that just, it kind of just comes to you in little pieces, and then you have to start grabbing those little pieces and putting them together. And so that's kind of what I've tried to do with this contest. I reached out to Paula, to Sunny, to Emma, Bill, and they serve as moderators on this channel. And none of them had any real specific input. You know, they just said, you know, not really sure. We'll come up with something. So I've come up with something. And just to remind you again, this contest, the singer repairman. Oh, and if you don't live in Hawaii or Arizona, hopefully you remembered to turn your clock ahead. Otherwise, you've been late for something all day, because that was supposed to happen last night. Like, that's my pocket. That was supposed to happen last night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, I don't know a lot of people that stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday just so they can say, okay, All right. All right. I want to do this right. So I'm going to unscrew the back of this clock. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to look at adjusting this clock. There we go. I'm going to look at adjusting this clock an hour ahead because right now in Wisconsin, it's a little bit after 6. So I'm behind right now. I'm actually late. So we're going to try to fix that. I think I said 6:01 or something like that. There we go. Now I'm right. So I'm going to try to explain the contest to you. Oh, and by the way, my attire that I have on was provided by none other than Maddie from Naples, Florida. She said, "You're always talking about premieres. You're talking about, setting out the red carpet and making it a big event, but you've never worn a tuxedo to any of the premieres." And so she just decided, I don't know where she picked this up. She picked it up somewhere and she sent it to the workshop. And it's been here for a couple of months, several months. And I never took it out. And leading up to this big event today of celebrating 12,000 subscribers, I said, it's time. I gotta do it today. And so that's why I made it a point as I was doing my little, dancing around and my little jive thing and everything. I made it a point of trying to get low enough so you guys could capture this in the very beginning and see what I was wearing and go, whoa, what's he got on? Am I underdressed? Am I overdressed? But so, all right, rewind. So behind me are a couple of things, and I'm going to get closer to them so you can see them. So you guys, if you follow things real faithfully on this channel, a number of months ago, I did an unboxing on the 170th anniversary Singer Class 15s. There they are. I'm kind of looking over my shoulder now. Ooh, the police are sending an escort here for the premiere. So, so I picked these up, and I told you guys back then that my thought was when we hit our next major milestone, that I would go ahead and give one of these machines away as the grand prize for the contest. And again, they're pretty much identical. And what I'm going to do with these machines before the winner gets them is I'm going to take them to the paint shop and I'm going to put brand new clear coat. I'll take off all the adornments on the machine and I'll clear coat these machines. They're really quite beautiful right now. If you look at this first one, there it is. It's a beautiful machine. Really a cool badge mark too on these 170th anniversary machines. And this is the second one here when I still have the light going. Look at, I've got little spots on me. So this is the second one over here. Equally beautiful and a real beautiful. This one, I did a little bit of polishing on the bed, not much, but it's got a beautiful luster and beauty to it already. You can kind of get a look at these machines from different angles. So again, they did a lovely job to celebrate the 170th anniversary of the Singer Sewing Machine Company. I got a little bit extra wax on the back end there. But I want to give one of these away. The other one I'm going to hang on to, at least for now. And let me tell you a little bit about the contest, because that's what you guys are probably excited about, is finding out more details about the contest. So let me kind of set this here. Let me set this here. Let me move these machines a little bit to the outside. There we go. Move that one over there. Slide this over. Reggie, can you hold that up? Thank you. All right. So I've got this little puzzle thing back here, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see most of it. And I can, if you want me to move it around a little bit to show more of this, I can certainly do that. But here's the contest in a nutshell. going to be, I've really enjoyed, and I think the other leaders have enjoyed the writing contests that we've done in the past. We've done a number of them. And so this is, I've got to unplug that light. It's going to drive you guys crazy. I can see those little spots moving around. So this is going to be a story that you need to write, minimum 100 words, maximum 500. Although I think the judges, which is going to be Bill, myself, Paula, Sonny, Emma. I don't think the judges, if you do 501, they're going to flag your entry and throw it out. They might. You never know. But this is going to be a story that you're going to write about this town. And it's the town of Calico. Okay. This is the town of Calico. And I was curious, so I Googled, and some of you real smart students might already know this, but there are a number of states in the United States that have a city by the name of Calico. And when you write your story, you need to pick one of these cities as your baseline to build a culture and to tell us about this particular town. So there's a Calico, West Virginia. There's a Calico, Tennessee. There's a Calico, South Carolina. There's a Calico, North Carolina. And finally, and last but not least, there's a Calico, California. There they are right there. You can see them on my little screen thing. I didn't memorize those. I just read them. You probably knew that already. So you're going to write a story. Again, a minimum 100 words, maximum 500-ish. And base it on telling us about this town. You can talk about this quilting shop that is really central to this town. But also, there are other shops in this town that you can just make up. You can just make up shops. But one of them, I'll tell you, that is in this town for sure, and you definitely want to talk about it because you'll get brownie points from me, is a little shop that repairs sewing machines. And it's called, guess what it's called. Yeah, that's right. It's called Cow Country Vintage Sewing Repair, or something like that. So you'll also want to speak to that shop as well. Talk about how relevant and how germane that little shop is to this community. All of these folks are in the crafts and sewing, and they're always bringing their machines in. Maybe you can even tell a tale about one of the machines that came into the shop that I worked on or whatever, and certainly create other shops for this community as well. And again, depending on what city you pick as kind of the landscape of this little town, whether it's West Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, or California, will kind of dictate maybe how you write that story, talk about the people, kind of describe them. Who is this person? Who is that? Who's this little boy? How about this dog over here? Can you see that little dog? I think you can. Yeah, there he is. And just talk about whatever you want to write, whatever you want to share. We also have a Calico Cafe over here, and we've got a Quilt Supplies. And there's, like I said, there's just a ton of other shops that we can't see in this little shot that you can create. You can make it up. It's a combination of fiction and fact and fun. Fiction, fact, and fun. Yeah, that inspires me to ring the bell, I think. Yeah. So I'm not giving you a huge number of parameters here. And let me look at the chat real quick because there might be some questions popping up as well. Hold on a second. Where did I put my spectacles? And hello to, oh my goodness, Madeline, you are here and I'm wearing your tuxedo shirt. Thank you again for that. And Emma and Paula and Kevin and Doreen and Paula. I already said Paula. I said Paula twice. And Wanda. Wanda is a fun name. I love that. And who else do we have? Kristen's Mixed Media. Kristen sent me a nice little note and said she's really enjoying these live streams and she's really enjoying the videos and everything. She's become a little bit of a video addict on the Cow Country Vintage channel. So y'all keep her in thought because, she might be staying up. She might have been one of those that stayed up. She might have been one of those that stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning to turn her clock ahead. You never know, right? I mean, it's possible. So, but this is the little town again, and you're going to have to just write a creative, fun piece about this town. Talk about the people of the town, talk about the shops. Remember to talk about Cow Country Vintage Sewing Repairs, that happens to be part of this community as well. And then remember to identify which of the cities in the US you're building your story around. Kind of give us a flavor of that, if you would. So, again, the different cities, if you're joining the live stream a little bit late, the different cities that actually have a calico in them are in West Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, and California. So there's a Calico, California, a Calico, North Carolina, a Calico, South Carolina, Calico, Tennessee, and a Calico, West Virginia. And you'll have to pick which of those you're kind of building your story around. And again, try to keep it within those parameters pretty much. I think the leaders are pretty forgiving. So if you write, a little bit over 500 words, that's okay. But we'll just kind of keep it between 100 to 500 words, 100 minimum, 500 maximum. And then build your story. Tell us about this community. Create a little story about it and tell us about the shops and the people and the puppies and the kiddos and the other puppies and the gazebo, maybe this little bandstand here where they have, I don't know, maybe they have concerts out here during the summertime. Or if you're in California, maybe you can have concerts year round. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Calico, California. I have no idea where it's located, but it's somewhere out there. So I'm going to look at the chat. You just kind of study this a little bit, and I'll help you study it a little bit by getting a little bit closer and giving you an image. I wonder what she's about. She's interesting, isn't she? Yeah, she is. Another little puppy up there, a lady on her. Wonder what this lady has on her bicycle right there. Look at that. What a cool bike. It almost looks like she has it covered, like maybe, I don't know, maybe a bakery or something. There's another gal up here. Oh, I didn't even, I'm looking at this gazebo. I didn't notice there's kids inside of there, right there. But it's a lovely community, isn't it? Oh, and look at Calico Cottage Quilt Makers, classes and fabrics. So they also teach classes here as well. That's really cool. I didn't even notice that the first time. See that when you look at something a little bit closer, you continue to notice new things, don't you? Yeah. Very, very nice. Very nice community. Yeah. I'm looking at the chat real quick. Excuse me. So I'm not seeing. I must have done a very good job in either very, very much confusing you, or I did a pretty good job of explaining the general framework of this contest. So you're going to write a piece between 100 to 500 words ish. I say ish because if it's 501, I don't think we're going to fuss at you about it. And you're going to build a story about this community. Whether you center it on California or North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, or West Virginia. And maybe you'll get some of your ideas for your story by actually researching these communities in the US that are actually carrying the name of Calico, just like this little town right here. So it'll be up to you to build that story, talk about the people, talk about the shops, talk about the life of the community, share funny stories about maybe some of the people that live there if you like. Build it however you want to build it. You guys are real smart and you're very, very creative folks. And I'm sure you'll come up with something really, really interesting. And again, I think I already announced on Facebook, this contest is going to begin this Tuesday, April. Oh my gosh. It's not April yet, Scott. Hello. this Tuesday, March 15th. And any suggestions from any of you that are in the live stream,
as to how long a contest like this should run. I've got a general inkling, and if any of the leaders present, Emma, Paula, I didn't look to see if Sonny is here or Bill, but if anyone has any input on how long should we run this contest. I know people's lives get busy, and this is a creative writing piece where you're going to be creating an interesting, fun story about this community of either Calico, West Virginia, Calico, Tennessee, Calico, South Carolina, Calico, North Carolina, or Calico, California. And so it'll take you a little bit to write this story, probably, even if you limit it to the minimum of 100 words. But how long do you think we should run this? A week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Let me take a look at the chat, see what you guys are suggesting. And if you have a specific end date, type it in the chat. And, I'll kind of get Emma's input, Paula's input, and if any of the other leaders are here, what do you guys think? We'll just have kind of a quick little impromptu brainstorming session, and then you guys can jump into this and have fun. Because I think it's fun to write a creative piece, don't you? And it's fun to create a community in any way you want and talk about the people that are central to that community. Not just these people here that we can see. There's a ton of other people that we can't see that are created in your mind that you can come up with and tell the tale of that person. Maybe you met them at a sewing class over here at Calico Cottage. This is really a tongue twister. Calico, what is this? Calico, blah, blah, Calico Cottage Quilt Makers. Maybe you met a person at the class, and you can put yourself into the story as well if you want. Or maybe you work in your story. Maybe you work at this Calico Cottage Quilt Makers shop, and maybe you teach sewing classes, or maybe you sell fabric and other not novelties type stuff like that. You guys know I didn't mean novelties. You know what word? Notions, sewing notions. You sell sewing notions, and maybe you teach classes too. Or maybe you're not in the story and you're just going to tell it, as an observer that maybe visited the town and met some of these people. Oh, there's our Canadian guy back there. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you can come out. Absolutely. Sorry for grabbing you by the head. That was rude, but whatever. Yeah. And I think it was Emma that told me, she said, I haven't seen that guy for a while. And when you posted some of the pictures of you packing up that Canadian 1591 that went to North Carolina, right? Yeah, it went to North Carolina. But it didn't go to Calico, North Carolina. It went to another place in North Carolina. And Emma said, I haven't seen that guy for a while. It's kind of cool to see him. Yeah. So, it'll be up to you to build your tale about Calico, wherever you decide to place it. I've named the city several times. I'm not going to say them again right now, but I'll probably say them at the end. So, what do you guys think of this contest? It's got a creative edge to it, doesn't it? It's kind of fun, and it gives you a lot of liberty in deciding how you're going to build your story, tell your case. Maybe you're on the board of tourism. I'm just throwing out some crazy ideas. Maybe there's a Calico tourism place that you work at in this town, and you're trying to tell the story of the town to attract people to come visit it, to go to Calico's Cafe and go to Calico Quilting Supplies, or to take, who knows, go over here to Calico Cottage Quilt Makers. Yeah, you can build your own story. Come up with your own creative way of expressing your passion for this community. And again, don't forget to mention that sewing machine repair place. I think it's kind of like down this street over here and just a little bit over to the right is where Cow Country Vintage Sewing Machine Repairs is. It's right over in this area, I think, right over kind of like beyond this purple quilt thingy right there. Yeah. So anyway, I'll look at the chat again, see if there's any questions that I need to try to answer. 2 weeks would be nice. Wanda said 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, Emma said. And Kristen is spot on. She says we need at least a week. I agree. I think 2 weeks is in the right neck of the woods, somewhere in that 2 to 3 week period. Would one of the leaders, Paula or Emma or anyone in the classroom, it doesn't have to be a leader. Let me pull that back. Anyone want to go about between 2 to 3 weeks out, somewhere in that window? Maybe 2.5 weeks would be a good benchmark. And give me the date that would put us at as far as a possible ending date for the contest. Tell me if you guys agree. Tell me if you agree. We should probably look at ending it maybe on, what do you think? Maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, so that most folks, not everybody is off on the weekend. I get that, but many folks are. So that way, when we wrap up the contest, you'll have that little window of time, to kind of relax and kind of breathe deep and wonder what all of us are saying about your story, right? So let's see. So about 2 to 2.5 weeks out from March 15th. What date would that be? What are we looking at? Kristen is saying around March 31st is what Kristen wrote in the chat. Okay, and Paula wrote an interesting comment. I'm trying to read it. Perhaps have the entries be given numbers and have names remain anonymous so as not to have any questioning of favoritism. Paula, brilliant, brilliant. I love it. And as they come in, I can do that. I can by all means do that. Now, here's the challenge. How are we going to get these stories? Because what we've done in the past, let me come back on the camera here. What we've done in the past is I'll do a post on Facebook. And when I post on the Facebook, 12,000 subscriber contest giveaway, and I kind of describe it. I revisit the facts a little bit about creating a story about Calico, wherever, Calico, California, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. Oh, what was the last one? Help me out, guys. I named them all except I missed one, I think. West Virginia. I think it's West Virginia. But at any rate, usually we'll post it on Facebook, and then folks will post their stories on Facebook in conjunction with that contest giveaway announcement. So everyone knows who they are. So how would we do that? Do they email them to me? Do they how should we handle that? What do you guys think? Because I think the idea of having some anonymity is not a bad idea. And I'm not asking in this instance, in some of them, I think one of the contests way back when, I invited folks to if someone wrote something, invite all your friends, family, woodland creatures, and everybody else to come to Facebook and like whatever you wrote, whatever you posted, sort of a thing. We can do that again, but then that anonymity factor that Paula suggested that we consider honoring is taken away, because everyone there is going to know immediately who wrote what. You know what I mean? So with that, let me move the camera back so you can look at Calico, wherever, and I'll look and see what you guys are writing as far as ideas, suggestions, and all of that. Boy, that really goes up there, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a pretty little town, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Nice. Email them to you, then you forward them to the moderator. Okay, I'll have to get all the moderators to send me, maybe through Facebook Messenger, or many of you have my cell number as well. You can just text me what your email address is, and as the entries email them to me, I'll go ahead and forward them to all of the leadership team so that they can start looking at them as well. But here's the thing. What do I do? Do I oh, this is frustrating, because I'm thinking, okay, if I get the email from so-and-so, I know who wrote that story. So then here, I'm back again. Do I then Do I then exclude myself from voting on the story since I'll know, obviously? I mean, there's no way that they can send the story to me blindly. You know what? I'm going to know who they are. So then if we go down that route and I think I can be fair and unbiased, but do I black out the name then on the story so that the leaders don't know and we've got even a higher level of anonymity? See what I'm saying? It becomes a little bit tricky than to say that we're unbiased because at least I'm going to know who wrote that story. And so I don't know. The leader, we'll work all that out. We've got a couple weeks at least, starting on March 15th forward, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever we decide. We've got some time to decide within our leadership circle how we're going to do this. But we'll have to figure it out before the 15th or by the 15th, so that when folks are sending them in, we can try to start out right on the right foot right away. I don't know if that's making any sense. Daylight savings time really kind of messes with your mind a little bit. So if hopefully I'm being coherent. If I'm not, let me know. But maybe we can do one of two things if we want to be absolutely unbiased. We can either exclude me from voting, and then it would be up to Paula, Emma, Sonny, and Bill to choose the ultimate winner after reading the stories, or we can give me the benefit of the doubt that I'll be neutral and unbiased, and I just won't disclose to the leaders who these writers are, and that way it raises that bar even higher of neutrality, if that makes sense. Because I do want to, I think the neutrality idea, the anonymity idea, that makes a lot of sense. Um, and I don't think, funny enough, with all the contests that we've done when we hit major milestones, I don't know that we've ever had anyone, I've never had anybody reach out to me and said, say something like, I don't think you guys were fair. I think you cheated, or I think you picked so and so because she's got blue hair, or you picked, that person because they walk a dog like yours. I'm being facetious right now. I'm being silly, but you know what I'm saying? So we'll have to figure that out. Maybe that's the best thing to do is I'll send the stories to the leaders blindly, but I want to get their input and see what they think. Because I value their opinion a lot, and I value all of your opinions. But ultimately, what we've done in the past is, the leaders will kind of jump in and decide who that winner is. So, yeah. All right, back to Calico. Back to Calico. You got to start studying this town so you can come up with a great, brilliant story about it. And maybe even the Canadian Mountie used to live there. I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Do it Survivor way and let the tribe vote. Cut and paste every. I'm assuming Emma meant to say every one you can assign a number. I only know. Okay. Haha, Paula. I like the idea. Email to Scott. AB. Scott gives a number or funny fake name. Bugs Bunny, Batman. Oh, I like that. I hadn't read that. I like that. I would like to assign a fictitious name to the stories that come in. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Yeah. What else do we have? Not everyone might have a Facebook account. Um, email. Okay, I read that. Email them to you, then you forward them to the moderator. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 331 is 17 days and 2 weekends. What do you guys think? Kristen, brilliant. Thank you so much for figuring that out. Kristen is suggesting, or as we were talking about, running this for about 2 to 3 weeks or somewhere in the middle of that, somewhere. She's come up with March 31st. And she indicated it's 17 days and 2 weekends. 17 days and 2 weekends. So if someone's really busy during the week, they can still have the weekends, 2 weekends to try to pull a story together. Hey there. This is what I'm going to move you over there, buddy. You still have the weekends to try to pull a story together. Again, it only has to be 100 words, but it can be a maximum of 500-ish words. Again, unless the leaders say to me, Scott, let's just lock it in at 500, which is fine with me. But I don't want to stifle someone's creativity either. You know what I mean? So we'll just give a general parameter of somewhere between 100 to 500-ish words, and then write about this community. And again, two real key things, and I mentioned it several times, but they say repetition is the key. Tell us about the people, tell us about the community, tell us about the activities, talk to us about the shops if you can, little story or whatever about the shops. You don't have to go deep into it. And then remember to mention Cow Country Vintage Sewing Repair. That's a part of Calico as well, and talk a little bit about that presence in the community as well, if you'd be so kind. And again, base it in one of those cities, excuse me, cities, blah, base it in one of those states that I gave you, and I'll repeat them one more time: Calico, West Virginia; Calico, Tennessee; South Carolina; Calico, North Carolina; or Calico, California. So you'll have to base it on one of those real cities. And maybe by researching that real city in the US, it'll give you even additional ideas. Again, this doesn't have to be factual, it's total fiction, but you can make it sound like fact. You know, we'll be so convinced we'll want to go visit this town that you create for us. Yeah, absolutely. Cut and paste every blah blah. Hello, every. Oh, hey. Hi, Susie. Hey, Susie, I got to give you a quick plug real quick. Hold on. I got to give Susie a quick plug. I had talked about in the thick of the winter, and if any of you have ever been in a cold climate like Wisconsin, Minnesota, any of the states that get real cold, Montana, I mean, Iowa, all there's places to get, even Florida gets cold. But I had somehow mentioned that my hands were, and in some of the videos, you could see that my hands were really taking a beating. And Susie from Minnesota, she's in a cold climate too, had sent me a bunch of these, and it's really saved me through the winter. It really has. And I know on one of the live streams or premieres, I showed this, and Roz from Michigan, whose husband is a doctor, and we all know in healthcare how often we wash our hands, especially amid a pandemic and everything. And Roz got the name and ordered some for her hubby right away. So thanks again, Susie. This stuff really does work. And you know, the cool thing about it, it looks like almost like a Noxzema cream, but it's not greasy at all. It's not greasy at all. You put it on your hands, and I can immediately go to a machine, and I'm not going to leave like grease streaks all over it. It just goes right into your skin, and it does a brilliant job. So it's called O'Keefe's Guaranteed Relief. I don't know. Maybe they sell this stuff. Maybe they sell this in one of the shops in Calico, wherever you decide to base your story. I have no idea. Oh, they do? You've been to Calico? No, you haven't. Okay, a Mountie wouldn't lie. I agree. Okay, well, thanks for sharing that, Mr. Mountie. Very cool. I had no idea that he's already been to Calico. Very, very cool. Nice. Okay, what else? Hi, Susie. Pass granted. Oh, Paula, God bless you. Thank you for giving Susie a pass. Very cool. So what questions, if any, because again, I really rely on all of you to catch things that I miss. What else do we need to have as part of this live stream? Because I'm going to be posting this obviously on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube as well. And anyone around the world that wants to get involved with this contest. Now, if someone from Canada ends up winning one of these, excuse me, sir, if someone from Canada ends up winning one of these 170th anniversary Isn't that really cool? I think that's so awesome. If someone from Canada or Germany or the UK or wherever decides, I want to get involved with this contest because Scott's audience and classroom is international. Any of you that have come to live streams, premieres, or otherwise know that I'm not just spinning a story. We have people from around the world that even join our live streams and join our premieres when I pre-shoot the video. So I don't want to cut out our international people either. But if someone wins from an international space, here's what I would say, that they're going to have to help me get that machine to them. They can certainly come to the US and pick it up, but I doubt that that's going to happen. So they would have to be prepared to help me cover at least a good chunk of the shipping costs to get a machine like this, all the way to Australia or to Brazil. We have a number of folks that join us from Brazil and Finland and all around the world. So that's all I'll say is this is open to our international friends as well, but they'll have to help me get that machine to them. Yeah, they will. I'm willing to be generous and give a machine away and re-clear code it and do all my magic to it so it's running smoothly. Hey, here's the other thing I didn't mention as I continue to ramble a little bit is these 170th anniversary class 15 models already have a mounting point right here for a motor. So the grand prize winner, if they decide that, I don't want to use this, I still have some wax on there. I don't want to use this as a treadle. I don't want to add a hand crank to this. You could add a hand crank very easily to this. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, we did the unboxing so long ago. Guys, I think there's a hand crank included with these. 99% sure there is. But if you don't want to use it as a hand crank or as a treadle, you could always mount a motor on here as well, potentially, and run it as a motorized machine. And then you'd be able to sew faster than I am right now. Yeah. If I get my finger caught, I will not cry. I promise not to cry. So, so yeah, I mean, just to throw some thoughts out there, this could be used realistically one of three ways. This 170th anniversary Singer Class 15, you could use it as a treadle, put it in a table. It's got mounting points on the back. You could use it as a hand crank. You could also mount a motor to it and use it as a motorized machine as well, which is kind of cool. Gives you a lot of options, doesn't it? Yeah. So just talking about the grand prize winner. And I might do something for, the top three, the winner and then the two runner ups. I'll get, you guys can share some ideas with me on what we could maybe do for the runner ups as well. Who gets, what for position 2, position 3, and that's probably where we would stop it there, but I think it'll be a fun little contest. I think it's a great way to celebrate our milestone of 12,000 subscribers. And just because of all of you sharing with friends and family and other folks about the Cow Country channel, we continue to grow every day. So, who knows how big this channel will eventually get. It's kind of exciting to look out to the future and wonder about that, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let me look at the chat again, see what else I'm missing. You can study calico, whether it's North Carolina, South Carolina, California, West Virginia, or where's the other one? Oh, Tennessee. There it is. There it is. I'll have this memorized by the end of the contest, maybe. Just trying to give you different shots, and I'll get closer to it as well so you can look at it. Okay, Susie, thank you for confirming that when I did the unboxing of these machines and number hand crank thing, or you could always add a motor to it. And if you want me to source a motor for you, we can work something out. We'll just work out those details. You're the grand prize winner. So, but it also would be interesting to me. It would be kind of interesting to me, the idea of one of these being in a table Let me adjust that shot. There we go. One of these being in a table and using a machine like this, 170th anniversary, in a beautiful table as a treadle machine too, because this will certainly work as a treadle machine very nicely. So yeah, all kinds of possibilities. So if you are, let me clarify one thing, because I talked about the international folks. If you are the grand prize winner and you live in the United States, with the exception of Hawaii, Hawaii can certainly get involved as well. We've got Dan out in Hawaii that's been a friend and a follower of mine forever. As a matter of fact, I prepared, many of you know this, I prepared and shipped a Singer 201-2, the Rolls Royce of Singer sewing machines, to Dan all the way in Hawaii. And certainly we've shipped all over the place, but that was kind of fun. I had never shipped to Hawaii before, so that was really cool to do that. So Hawaii, any state in our union can get involved in the contest, but Dan and I, knowing how much it costs to ship a machine all the way to Hawaii, if the winner ends up being in Hawaii, we'll have to work out, kind of like with our international people, we'll have to work out some way to share the cost a little bit, so that I'm already donating the machine. I can pay a portion of the shipping, and then that winner can kick a little bit in to help me out. You know what I mean? So we'll figure all that out. We're way out there. Based on Kristen's timeline, this contest doesn't end until March 31st, I think she said. And then there'll be a week, or probably about a week, that the leaders and I will be reading the stories. And then finally, about a week after the contest ends, we will make the official announcement as to the grand prize winner, the second runner up, the third runner up. And again, I'll need your ideas, not just the leaders' ideas, but everyone's ideas on what should we do for the second runner up? What should we do for the third runner up? Because I think that would be cool. I don't want to just acknowledge the grand prize winner. I also want to acknowledge the two runner ups that were just so doggone close. It's like when Hans was part of our team, and Hans and Bill and Sonny and others and Paula at that time, we were just struggling because the stories were so great for some of these previous contests. So I want to come up with some sort of a creative idea for our second runner up and our third runner up. Okay. And we've got a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks or so, to try to figure that out, during live streams, or you can text me or email me or whatever, and the leaders can chime in as well, and we'll come up with some sort of an idea for the second and the third runner up as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to Calico. Calico. All right. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Yep. No, there's no carrying case. There's no carrying case. Susie had pointed that out, I think. There's no carrying case for these 170th anniversary Class 15 machines. They're self-standing and they're very, very stable. So while you could put this machine into a case, or put it into there's a little bit of wax on there. You could mount it in a table as well. It doesn't really need to be mounted in a table or put in a case, as long as you have a nice non-skid type surface. Even here, I'm kind of wiggling it and pulling on it, and it's not sliding, it's not moving. So it's the Class 15 has a real nice, stable sewing platform, even if you elect not to put it, my hands are feeling a little bit dry, even if you elect to not put it into a case, or some sort of a sewing table or something like that. So it'll be totally up to you as to, if you're the grand prize winner, how you set this machine up to be used. It's totally up to you. I saw a couple little spots, and it wasn't from my lotion that I just put on that Susie sent me. It was because my hands are, I've been working on another machine. I'll show you guys real quick. I've been working on another machine on the other workbench, and I'm actually going to be premiering it in the next couple of days. I got to turn my screen around so I can see where I'm pointing the camera. Yep, there it is. Okay. So this is obviously, you can look at it right away. And any of you that are fairly well versed in VSM can recognize this as, well, I won't even say it. You type it in the chat. What kind of machine do you think that this is? What kind of machine? And if I got really close over there, you'd be able to see it. And remember again that a little bit of a history lesson with Singer, they added these plates for the class of the machine starting in 1953, which was the same year that they rolled out the very coveted 222K, the featherweight convertible, the featherweight free arm that everybody drools over. So that tells you right away that this machine is from either 1953 or a little bit later when you see a plate like this over there. So I'll look at the chat real quick, but I'm going to be premiering this machine. And this machine is the second machine that I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. This is the second machine. Yeah, well done. I'm looking at the chat. Susie wrote down 99K, and she's exactly right. And Emma is exactly right as well. They both kind of echoed each other a little bit. And this is a 99K. And this particular 99K is like I was starting to say, is the second machine that I'm preparing for Lisa Sandygren. Lisa Sandygren from the beautiful state of Washington, Washington State. I recently premiered or live streamed, I don't remember which one it was, the 201 2, the Rolls Royce of Singers that she wanted to get her mitts on first. So I said, okay, I'll focus on that one. I'll get it ready. I'll get it ready and I'll get it all set up for you. And I'll get that mailed and shipped to you. And then I'll work on your 99K, the second machine that she ordered from the workshop. These are machines that she knew the difference of the workshop and how much I pour into the machines. And she could have bought a 99K or a 201 2 anywhere. They're available all over the place, especially from a lot of these machine flippers that will, put a little bit of polish on the bed and say the machine is fully restored. And we know it's not, right? We know it's not. There's no way. So she right away knew she wanted to get the machines through the workshop. And she initially was just looking at getting a 99K. And then we talked a little bit more about some of the videos that she watched. And she said, I really was enthralled with the 201 2, the Rolls Royce of Singers. And she says, I just can't decide. And I said, well, you can always circle back. I said that those two machines are very popular. They tend to move fairly quick. And I only have one of each of those in my personal collection that I can pull out. She said, okay, no more deciding. I'm going to take both machines, which is what she did. So she ended up getting the 201 2 and this 99K that will be either live streaming or premiering. What is today? Today's Monday, isn't it? No, today's Sunday. You can tell the daylight savings time. So we're either going to be live streaming or premiering this on Monday or Tuesday. Kind of debating that. A number of my close friends work during the day, and it's harder for them to watch these. But also during the day, we have our international audience that it's basically evening time for them in the morning. So I'm going to have to debate that. But anyone want to look up the birth date for this machine for me to help us out? I already know what it is, but you can look it up and share it with our class. We try to get a shot on here. Where is it? There it is, finally. There's the serial number. So if someone wants to, I see I didn't get all the wax. I put some wax on here and I didn't get all the wax off. Oops. But if someone wants to look up this birth date for us and tell us the birth date, how many of these were made in this production group? Was it the standard 50,000? Was it less than 50,000? Was it more than 50,000? And give us the full birth date. That would be super cool. Someone would help us out with that. And again, as soon as I get done premiering or live streaming this 99K, it's going to be heading to Washington State to join the 201-2 that already has been shipped to Lisa Sandygren. So I'm not going to hold the camera there anymore because I've got that extra wax on there. I need to get off that extra wax. But I agree, Brenda, it's a lovely, lovely machine. I really did spend a lot of time even cleaning up the badge mark on this. The badge mark is part of Emma, Emma calls it something. What is it? Jewelry? This is part of the jewelry on the machine. And it was really grungy looking. And again, if you go to a general, a general service center or something like that, they're not going to spend any time at all cleaning. Oh, that light doesn't help, does it? It messes it up. They're not going to spend any time at all with the aesthetics of the machine. They're just going to do a basic oiling adjustments if it needs it. That's not really focusing very well. There we go. Almost got it. Almost got it. I'll leave it right there. All right. Let me set this over here again. May 19th. Oh, wait, let me go back further. So Emma writes, May 19th, 1954, 40,000. And Susie wrote as well, May 19th, 1954, 40,000. Both of you ladies are absolutely spot on. That is the birth date. So we know this machine is from 1954. So it has this plate on it again because they started putting these plates on there. That wax is bugging me. They started putting these plates on here in 1953, which is the first year again that they introduced the 222K that was made exclusively in Scotland. Guess where this machine was made? And it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky because you can see right over here on the inside of the pillar, it says made in Great Britain. Made in Great Britain. Right there. There it is over there. Almost got it. I'm so close. I'm so close. Made in Great Britain. And then one of the other clues that we saw when we looked at the serial plate is the serial plate starts with an E. Where do you think this was made? I mean, for real. The UK is, Great Britain is trying to take credit for making this machine, which I get. But where do you think it was actually made? Where was this machine that I'm going to be sending to Lisa and that we're going to be premiering or live streaming in the next couple of days? I've got everything set up. I've got my sew-offs over here cut and ready to go, including Paula's Kona Cotton. Yeah. So we're all set to get this done. I've already done the final adjustments and getting all the stitching just spot on. Where do they make this machine? No one knows. No one wants to guess. Ha ha ha! Paula, you smarty pants. They made this machine in Scotland and then they shipped it. Yep, exactly right, Emma. Exactly right. They made this machine in Scotland and then they ended up, because there's always been this debate. I've talked about this. There's this testy little debate. Is Scotland a standalone country to itself, or is it somehow attached to Great Britain? Scots will say, we're on our own, baby. We're on our own. Certainly, J.D. Oliver, you guys remember that fundraiser we did for the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana? J.D. Oliver would have said, we are not part of Great Britain. That's like somebody that lives in New Jersey, someone saying to them, oh, are you from New York? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's this tension all the time between New Jersey and New York, and certainly other places across the U.S. There's been this long-term tension between Scotland and the UK. And the UK, badge marking on the inside of the pillar, made in the United Kingdom. Made in Great Britain. I'm sorry, made in Great Britain. When in fact the machine was actually manufactured and made, as Emma said, as Paula said, over in Scotland. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to know that they introduced this idea of the the class of the machine right around 1953. That's when they introduced this idea. This machine was born a year later and was born in Scotland. I'm going to say it. I'm going to get nasty notes from people. I might even get a nasty note from Alex Askarov over in the UK saying, hold on a second, buddy. That's a Great Britain machine. Alex, love you. Love Yana. You guys are great. You're fabulous, but you're wrong. This machine was made in Scotland and then badge marked on the inside of the pillar with Great Britain. So poo-pah to Great Britain trying to take credit for a machine that came out of Scotland. That's all I'll say. There you go. Done with that. Done with that. Done with that. Okay, let's go back. Ooh, that's kind of a fun shot. Look at that. Now you can see the entire city. Yeah. So what else do I need to cover, if anything, about what this contest giveaway is all about? I'm kind of looking at the chat just to see if there's anybody that says, hey, Scott, you didn't mention this, or hey, Scott, can you clarify that? So based on my limited understanding of being up until about 1 o'clock last night, not to change my clock, but because I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm going to lose an hour's sleep and I'll probably be late to church. And I maybe won't wake up until noon and all of that stuff that people that are in daylight savings time have nightmares over. So if I miss something, let me know. But at this point in time, if I followed things pretty closely, we're going to start this contest on March 15th, which is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And then we're going to end the contest on the 31st of March. And we'll just say at midnight or something dramatic like that. Or we could say at what day is the 31st of March, you guys? What day is that? Did I get that right? A full shot of the. Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Emma. What I'll do is when I post this on Facebook, and also I'll get over there with the camera and kind of get closer to the city. And again, don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to what you see in front of you right here. This is only something that I had in the workshop that inspired me to come up with this idea. And again, there's tons of shops, there's tons of people, there's tons of things that we can't see in this image. But what I'll try to do is I'll take a picture of it with my phone and I'll post it on Facebook. And that way, if anyone wants to open it up and study it a little bit closer, they can do that. That's a great suggestion, Emma. Great suggestion. Okay, so the 31st, Kristen is saying the 31st is a Thursday. So what do you guys gals think? Should we end it at noon on Thursday or should we end it at midnight on Thursday? What makes more sense? Maybe neither one makes more sense. And maybe it doesn't matter that much. But I'm just curious what your thoughts are as I trip over the chair. Just curious what your thoughts are if you have a strong conviction as to whether it should end at noon on the 31st or at midnight. Historically, both are significant. There's a lot of stories that center on, what do they call it, high noon. And there's a number of stories that center on, the clock chiming and all of a sudden it's midnight and something dramatic and scary and weird happens. So midnight. All right. So we got two votes, one from Emma, one from Paula. So in the absence of someone objecting to that, if anyone wants to object to that, by all means. But in the absence of anyone objecting, the contest starts on March 15th. How can I do this? As soon as the post goes up on Facebook, I'll try to do it on the 15th. I'll wait until Tuesday to post it on the 15th. This will be available on YouTube straight away. So but as soon as I post the announcement, the official announcement of this contest starting on the 15th, maybe I'll do it at midnight on 12:01 or something like that on the 14th. I don't know, which is tomorrow. So as soon as I do that, the contest begins officially, because then the people can interact with the post. They can ask questions. They can post their. No, they're not gonna post their stuff there. We agreed they're not gonna post it there. They're gonna email it to me, and then I'll share it with the leaders on the team. That's what we're going to do. So I'll just be announcing it. I'll be going over the rules again. I'll be clarifying that things should not be posted on Facebook because we want to maintain some level of anonymity. And I'll post my email address, and then they can send it to me, and then I'll forward it on to to Paula, Emma, Bill, and Sunny. And we haven't seen Sunny for a while. I hope she's okay. If anyone has any insights on Sunny, let me know. I could certainly text her and just find out from her, or reach out to Craig. But I haven't seen Sunny interacting with things on Facebook. I haven't seen her at live streams and premieres for several weeks. So hopefully our dear friend Sunny is doing okay. So, all right, let me do this. I'm going to end with my crazy, wild, funky music again, kind of go around the city so you can see it again. I'll move my Mountie guy, and then I'll kind of show you the machines as well again, so you kind of know what you're hoping to win if you jump into this contest. And this contest is also open to individuals that have previously won major contests. So even if someone won a major contest previously, most recently it would have been Veronica and Emily Oyama. Again, I've got daylight, so just bear with me. And then we've had a number of other grand prize winners prior to that, Mary Klein and a couple of other folks as well. Any of those folks can jump into this contest. So, and I don't know, should we, I'm obviously not going to enter the contest to win, to win a machine that I'm wanting to give away for this contest. But would it be appropriate, or, yeah, it's not appropriate. We can't let leaders get involved because they're going to be the voters. So that doesn't make any sense. Forget what I just said. Forget what I just said. We'll limit it to anyone that wants to enter, including previous grand prize winners, but myself and the leadership team are excluded from participation. Yeah, we'll just say that. All right. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to crank some music on. Let me look at the chat, see if there's anything that I need to respond, comment on. Where is the Cow Country Sewing Machine shop in the Calico Village? Oh, yeah. What I explained about that, Susie, is when you look at this little village here, see this cool little lady? Looks like she might have bread or something on her bicycle. Cow Country Vintage Sewing Repair is going to be right over in this area. It looks like the Rock is back there. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing, man? So the repair shop is going to be somewhere up in this neck of the woods of the Calico town. You can just say north. If you want to incorporate it into your story, you can say something like north of the town square where the gazebo is, kind of northeast down whatever. And I don't have names for these streets, but it would be up over here, and then right at this street right here wraps around, and there's the shop right there. There's the shop right there. So you kind of go up this street past the bicycle lady, and then the shop is just on the other side of this little quilt right here, right up in that area. And Dwayne does pop in periodically, so I don't know if, no, he doesn't. Just joking. All right, let me put on some music, see if there's anything else. Paula, absolutely. I really want to make Cow Country a part of the town, so absolutely. tell whatever you want to tell about the different shops in the town. And again, it doesn't have to be the ones you can just see in the shot right here. You can make up your own. Maybe there's a pet store. Maybe there's a barber shop that everyone goes to get the latest gossip. Maybe on the other side of where the bicycle lady is up here, maybe there's a little river right over here on the other side, opposite of where the Cow Country repair shop would be, and the river over there rents out boats. I don't know. It's just let your creativity come to life and have fun with this. There's no boundaries other than a general boundary of make it somewhere between 100 and 500 words, and then remember to describe the people, the community, the culture. Excuse me. I've been talking too much. The culture of the community. Remember to talk about Cow Country as an integral part of the town, because all of these folks you can see and folks you can't see, they're all sewers, they're all quilters. They're like Roz. Many of these folks, they're part of families that have been third or fourth generation quilting families. So they bring all of their machines to the repair shop, and you might want to come up with an interesting story about something relating to that. And the only other thing, along with between 100 to 500 words ish, again, if it's a little bit more than 500, I don't think any of the judges are going to object to that. I don't think they would. But again, remember, you need to describe in your story which calico this is. Is it Calico, West Virginia? Is it Calico, Tennessee? Is it Calico, South Carolina? Calico, North Carolina? Or Calico, California? And these are all, again, real towns in the U.S. that carry the name of Calico, just like our fictitious town right here. Yeah, cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion that Kristen came up with. Here's what I would ask Kristen and others to do is once I officially post this, and I can certainly post it a little bit earlier than Tuesday. Probably sometime tomorrow, I'll get this up on Facebook, the day before. Would you all be so kind? Please, 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 please. Would you be so kind as if you have any brilliant suggestions, like Kristen said, coming up with a maintenance kit or something, and it'll include the elusive pink grease. I might also incorporate a bottle of my special concoction of lubrication as well that I use to extend the life of the machines that come into the workshop as well. But would you type up that on the Facebook post that's going to go up? Type that in there and say, hey, great live stream. Really, it sounds like it's going to be a fun contest. I either am or am not going to get involved with it. And by the way, just a reminder, I had suggested for the second and the third runner-up, the idea of giving a maintenance kit, and then outline that a little bit so folks understand what it is. And then I can reply to that on the Facebook post and say, great idea. Anyone else has suggestions, chime in. And then we could kind of gather those ideas during the contest and then, make a final decision. Maybe I'll do a quick live stream on the 31st and say, okay, great. We got all these entries, and these are the suggestions for the second and the third runner up. Would you guys help me vote on it right now? And then we'll come up and we'll make a final decision on what the giveaway will be for that second runner up and that third runner up as well. If that sounds fair, let me know. If it doesn't sound fair, send me a nasty text message with a frowny face and say, Scott, you need to get more sleep, man. You need to get more sleep. You do. All right, let me crank on some music to end this celebration. Again, I've been talking about Calico so much. I've been talking about these gorgeous 170th anniversary Singer Class 15s. And again, the winner will be able to pick either one that they want. I'll send them detailed pictures. They can pick this one. They can pick that one. It's up to them. And again, it's open to international folks as well, as long as they agree to share the cost of shipping. But, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I hope it'll be fun. Yeah.
12,000, you guys. I'm kind of yelling across the workshop here, and it certainly is reason to celebrate. Yeah, it is. That was a horrible cue. It's reason to celebrate. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining the live stream, everybody. And watch for that Facebook post tomorrow. And hope you decide to jump in. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Are we still rolling? I think we're still. I better not let Hank see me wearing this tuxedo because he's going to just totally freak out. Like, are we going to a party? You never know, right? I'm up for a party. Yeah. Thanks again, Maddie, for getting me this really cool shirt. It's fun. It's fun. I won't wear it all the time, but for big stuff like this, when we hit 12,000 subscribers, yeah. Yep. All right. You guys take care. Enjoy a little bit of chat time, and I'll end the live stream in just a little bit. And you can admire, if you're deciding you're kind of excited about jumping into this contest, you can admire these machines and start deciding, okay, if I win, I'm going to pick this one or that one or that one or that one. I don't know. All right. Take care, everybody. I need more music. Give me more music. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this sounds like 12,000 subscriber celebration music. All right, I'll get out of the way. I know you want to see the machines and you want to see the beautiful town or city of Calico. Yeah. I'll dance off to the side. 12,000 subscribers. Yahoo! Hey, Mr. Bean, should we order pizza? I don't do pepperonis. No way, man.